In the old days, this would have been Rugby League's version of the Charity Shield, but there'll be no charity on display here as the cup holders Hull take on defending champions Wigan, because both sides are desperate for a win. Leeds' victory against Leigh last night strengthens the Rhinos' position in the top four. They're now third, 2 points behind Salford and 4 adrift of the leaders Castleford. Hull can go above Wakefield with a win here. Wigan are currently 3 points adrift of the Brack and Whites, so they desperately need the win. The battle for the wooden spoon's heating up. Widnes now just a point behind Leigh, with this week's game still to come. Things just might change tomorrow when Huddersfield take on Warrington. Widnes are hosts to the Catalan Dragons, and Salford entertain Wakefield. All three of them kick off at 3. The leaders are resting players, and they're at home to St Helens in what on paper is a mouth-watering match at the Jungle. 3:30 kick-off there. OK, the team news then for this one, and to be fair to both Hull and Wigan, they are struggling with injuries. We get a look at Nick Rawston, who played in Perpignan on Monday and scored 2 tries in the defeat. Fatuli Talanoa makes a welcome return for Hull, having missed the last 8. A new front row. Scott Taylor's out, Liam Watts suspended, having been sent off for a second time this year on Monday. So Danny Houghton's front row partners are Chris Green and Jordan Thompson. And it's a 21-year-old bench featuring Turgott, Downs, Fash and Matongo. It's not much better for Wigan either. Joe Burgess and Liam Forsyth both return, though, having missed the home defeat to Wakefield on Monday. But there's a late blow for Wigan in the forwards. Sean O'Loughlin, the skipper, is ruled out after tweaking a hamstring in training yesterday. Jack Wells is taking his place, which means that Callum Field gets a late call-up and will come off the bench, where Joel Tompkins is fit to resume, having missed the last 2. So here we are, 5th against 6th on the table. The 3rd game in a week. It looks like the most important game for both of these clubs. Little margin for error now for either of them, having lost both games last weekend in what has been called Super League's second Easter. A defeat for Wigan would leave them up against it in the race for the top 4 and the defence of their crown at Old Trafford. Hull lost their top 4 place when they were beaten in Perpignan on Monday evening, when Wakefield caused that upset when they beat Wigan earlier on in the day. Wigan won 7, lost 7, drawn 2 of their Super League matches so far. They've won at Salford, Widnes, Warrington and Wakefield. Points difference for them, though, is negative, -16. Hull have won 9, drawn 1 and lost 6. But at home, it's 4 wins and 4 defeats. Hull on 19 points, Wigan on 16 points. Hull can go 3rd ahead of tomorrow's programme. Match referee is Phil Bentham. Glorious day, lovely warm conditions, pitch in magnificent order here at the KCOM Stadium. Wigan in cherry and white, Hull in black and white. And every time I watch these two sides, my mind goes back to the 1985 Cup final. I know I'm dredging the history books up here, but that was the best Challenge Cup final of all time. And let's hope we have a fantastic match here tonight to match the occasion and the decent-sized crowd that has turned up. Lewis Turney gets this game underway then. Here we go. This could easily be, Terry, the most vital game of the season for both of these sides.
Most definitely. Both sides are missing certain players, and it's going to be interesting to see how Hull FC go without the likes of Taylor, Watts, Gareth Ellis. They're missing Mark Sneed as well, who's going to guide them around the pitch. Will Jake Connor be able to step up in that half-back role? It's going to be a big physical game, and as you said, Eddie, the conditions are absolutely brilliant.
They are magnificent for what we hope will be a showpiece game from the Betfred Super League. Sikamano gets to his feet, plays it to Danny Houghton. Here now is Mark Minicello, and Hull are inside the Wigan half at the end of the opening set. Houghton will come to the left-hand side. Jake Connor humps the ball downfield high. Tierney is retreating in reverse. Claims the ball, though, quite cleanly, and will begin Wigan's first use of the football.
Eddie, I went to watch the match last night. Leeds Rhinos entertained the Leigh Centurions, and at the end of the game it was very tight, very close, both sides out on the feet. So the first quarter in this match will be vital and crucial to the eventual winners, as we see a
huge error
escape from Thomas Luluai.
Huge error from Thomas Luluai.
Well, you don't see that
on at the play, though. You don't see it very often.
You don't see that often. Lewis Taney, well, he gathers that high ball. Then all of a sudden you think that Wigan are going to get to the set. The start is vitally important, as Barry said, and Sean Wayne, a man who will have sent out and set out the challenges this week. His side haven't won in 5 games, Eddie. They're the side that come into this game needing 2 vital points.
Not the sort of start the stand-in skipper Thomas Luluai would have hoped for. Here is Sika Manu, tackled by George Williams low down. Hull looking to make progress here with Shaw. He gets the ball wide, and it's flung back inside. Danny Washbrook will take it forward now for the Black and Whites. The Wigan defence is moving quickly, shuffling across, scrambling to keep them out. It is with Albert Kelly now, and he finds Jake Connor. Connor then finds Jamie Shaw. Shaw attacking down the left-hand side. Pulled down by Luluai. Mavavi is the man at dummy half. It comes into centre field again to Minicello. Minicello was looking for runners then. There were none, so he decided to take the responsibility on his own shoulders. Takes tackle number 4, 9 metres out. And a penalty because Willie Isa would not get out of the ruck.
Well, in the game that Barry referred to last night, Leeds elected to kick lots of penalty goals. They'd have gone for 2 points in this situation, but Hull have declined.
Yes, it mightn't have been, well, it wasn't a bad idea for Leeds because they won, which was a tight contest, as Barry said. But Hull are ambitious, and Albert Kelly was not tackled, so he's able to get up and carry on the run, and then gets it away to Houghton. Houghton goes wide, and a chance here over in the far side, and they are in with Steve Michaels. The error from Thomas Luluai, very, very costly indeed. And you can see why Hull decided not to go for the easy 2 points that were on offer. Good start for Lee Radford's men. They lead the champions here by 4 points to 0.
Well, they'll certainly back themselves, and you never see the likes of Thomas Luluai making mistakes like that, but it's Willie Isa who gets caught on the wrong side of the ruck. Mark Minicello, too big, too strong, wins that collision. They earn the penalty. And when the ball goes out wide, the man who's about to get the ball there, Albert Kelly, he does ever so well to compose himself, ride a couple of tackles, offload the ball, and what about that? Another composed pass from Danny Houghton.
Well, it is the offload that breaks the defence. Players up, players back, a disjointed defensive line, greets that pass there now. Danny Houghton assesses the situation up really well, and that's a good finish as well from Steve Michaels.
And turning back the clock is Steve Michaels, because he got the first try of the season in the 22-20 win at Wigan in March, and he has been a try scorer now in 4 of last season's 5 meetings. So that must mean that he enjoys playing against the Wigan Warriors.
Well, we can see Wigan made a mistake inside their own 20-metre zone, and Hull punished them. One of the differences, I suppose, for Hull this season to last is that they've been scoring about a try a game less this year. And that was primarily because the wingers in 2016, Fanoa and Talanoa, came up with 29 tries in total. Steve Michaels knows the importance of wingers finishing chances. He's done that first and foremost.
Jake Connor, though, missing the conversion attempt, so it's only 4-0. And this is Big Talanoa. He has missed the last 8 games. Now it is with Danny Houghton. Surrender! Scampering little run from him. He will play the ball, and the big men are rolling forward for Hull FC here. This is Sika Manu.
And it all comes on the back of Talanoa.
Bad bang on the head maybe there for Thomas Luluai. He was bumped off in that tackle again by Sika Manu.
Mavavi now. Luluai is just taking a place on the right wing for the time being, just having a quick word with the physio. Off the boot of Jake Connor, it goes high. This time it's pouched cleanly enough. Well done, Tom Davis.
He's a good player, Tom Davis. We talk about Tom Davis and Liam Marshall this year. How well they've done when they've stepped up. They can score tries. They're good bringing the ball back from their line as well.
Liam Farrell, 200th Wigan appearance. We mentioned that Luluai maybe got a bang on the head. And I think Bill Arthur, who's on the sideline, has got first news of that.
Yeah, Luluai put himself in the way of that charging run from Sika Manu, was left on the deck, and the Wigan physio team are very quickly out to it. The first indications was that they thought it was a head knock, but Luluai has waved them away. He's putting that kick in.
He is, and straight into the arms, as it turned out, of Steve Michaels.
Well, good take, wasn't it? Because the kick was tremendous from Thomas Luluai. Placed exactly where he wants it. This is a man that Wigan need to stop. His early carries in the games have been very good for Hull FC.
Just watching here, Terry, as Luluai is leaving the field. So he might have waved the medical staff away. Sam Powell will come on in his place. He will have to he'll have to be assessed. And there's the big bang he took. So Luluai, we've got to try against Wakefield on Monday, and he leaves the field. That's another blow for Wigan, whose injury problems continue to mount. Good kick, meanwhile, from Jake Connor.
Jake Connor very prominent in the opening 6 or 7 minutes of this game, taking control on last tackle. He's put a couple of kicks high, of which the fullback Tierney has dealt with, but just chooses to nudge it over the sideline, slow the game down a little bit.
He's a player who's never lacked for confidence, but maybe lacked composure at times. Sometimes he gets too aggressive, too emotional. If he controls his emotions in this game, he could be a key factor in them winning.
OK, we've seen Thomas Luluai come off. Let's get another update, Bill.
Yeah, eventful start for Thomas Luluai with that error that led to the try, and then that knock on the head. He wanted to stay on, but the Wigan medical team have prevailed. There he goes. That's where he put himself in the wrong place. And Luluai, despite his protestations, has been taken from the field. He's down in the dressing room now and having a concussion assessment.
So McIlorum and Sean Wayne, I'm sure, will be hoping that Luluai rather, and Sean Wayne will be hoping that he is fit to resume after the 15-minute head test. It's a free interchange at the moment, Stuart, isn't it? Free interchange right now.
That's right. It's free for 15 minutes. They've got 15 minutes to get him either assessed and back on the field, or assessed and not coming back at all in the game.
OK, Liam Farrell then on the last tackle here. And there is Sam Powell. That's a towering kick from Powell into the sunshine. But he's steady as you go underneath that, isn't he? Is Michaels? That's not steady. A drop ball by Rawsthorne. Didn't see much wrong with the pass, but he was immediately put under pressure. Well taken.
It was a confident take, wasn't it? Jamie Shaw deciding that the better option was Nick Rawsthorne. He was a little bit rooted. He had a good game against Catalan, 2 tries. A player with blistering pace, good goal kicker, attended the Brooks Bank School of Halifax, coached by Damien Ball back in the day. So a player with good quality.
Well, Wigan made hay from the mistake earlier, but they got the first try, and after 9 minutes, Wigan looking to respond likewise in this repeat of last year's Challenge Cup semi-final and playoff semi-final. 1 win apiece, Hull denying Wigan a place at Wembley and Wigan denying Hull a place at Old Trafford. Old Trafford will come into view shortly because we'll be having the split after 23 rounds. This is round 17. Vital period of the season. Right now, this is Lewis Tierney. He gets the ball away, and a chance here for Liam Forsyth, and he's held up just short of that black and white line. Tierney waits at dummy half. It will come back to Powell. Powell then infield to Isa. Isa continues it further forward to Sutton. He gets it out the back door to Williams. Nice stab from Williams towards the in-goal area. Very well claimed over on that far side once again by Jamie Shaw.
Brilliant full-back play from Shaw there, under tremendous pressure. We're all aware of how many tries Wigan score when George Williams puts that kick towards the winger in the left-hand corner. And Shaw's been the quickest there to react. Good fast 10 minutes for Hull. They've managed to go end-to-end here now. They've tried to go a little bit wider to get away from these Wigan defenders. Great
run from Jordan Thompson here. He has support with him as well. Oh, he looked right. It should have come left because the support was there from Washbrook.
Is it Minicella? Minicella changed the side he was supporting on. Still on the attack, Hull.
They are with Houghton. Houghton into the 20-metre zone. Kelly loses the ball under pressure. That's good work from Joe Burgess.
Jordan Thompson come up with a brilliant run, and you've got to read what's in front of you. As Hull FC made the mistake here from pressure on Albert Kelly. But Jordan Thompson, he looks up and he sees Frank Paul Nuasala. He makes a beeline, he comes shooting out the line. All of a sudden there's some space there. And that's a good run downfield from Jordan Thompson, starting today's game at prop forward.
The dummy half pass was a special one. It went across the face of Chris Green, who wasn't tempted to snatch at it. And then Jordan and Hull FC make the break.
As it was Minicello who was up there in support. A man who has been quoted as saying he hasn't been terribly happy with the 2 Easters this year. Well claimed by Shaw. That was a 40-20 attempt by Wigan.
Well, he's one of the best fullbacks in Super League. He anticipates breaks. He gets to the majority of kicks. He's so quick and his speed gets him out of trouble.
And he's making his 28th consecutive appearance here.
And Wigan kicking on the third play, Eddie, they know that they need this decent field position.
Here's Minicello again. Houghton, a dummy half. Little collision with his opposite number, McIlorum. Green gets it away to Kelly. Kelly then spreads it wide, and here is Talanoa. Talanoa goes down tight to the touchline on that far side. Michaels brings the ball back inside. Showed it to Houghton. Takes another good run into the Wigan 20-metre zone, taking Liam Farrell with him. Houghton comes to the left-hand side. Connor. Kick to the corner from Connor, looking for Rawsthorne. Ball is knocked back, I think, or knocked on by Wigan. 6 to go. Minicello! I think he's got the try here, although it might be the first decision for Robert Hicks, tonight's video referee. He obviously wants to check, I would imagine, Stuart, was it a knock-on by Wigan? If it's a knock-back by Hull, of course, it doesn't matter, it's a play-on. But is there a knock-on in the air by Hull first?
And that's the only thing that would stop this try being scored, I think, or being confirmed, is if Hull have knocked it on in that challenge in the air. It looked like it came off the Wigan player. Let's see what we can find out from this. All the players are on side. Obviously, it's from a kick, so we have to check that. They're all on side, so the chase is good. Who makes the knock-on here? Well, I think it goes from the Wigan player into the Hull player and then backwards. So my first view of that is that it's still play on. Does this tell us anything different?
Tom Davis and Nick Rawsthorne are competing for the pass or competing for the kick. I think you're right, it goes backwards, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's a knock-on from Hull there, so I think we play on. Could he be interested in that little pull back from Tuimavarvi there?
Doesn't look like. He's having a look at the grounding.
Ball's
nothing wrong with that.
Be a bit concerned about Lewis Teeney there. We might even get a penalty after the try, with Teeney going in at the ball with his feet like that. But I think the try will stand. I think he's purely looking to see Teeney's actions in this now, going in with the boot. That's foul play. This should be another penalty after the conversion.
Yeah, you can't do that, can you? No. You can't go flying in with the boots. I can understand why he tried all he knew to try and get that ball away, but is it an 8-point try? Well, the try is given, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just a bit confusing for some viewers who might not watch a lot of rugby league about what an 8-point try is. You obviously only get 4 points for the try, but then you get an attempt to kick the conversion, which would give you 2 more, and a penalty in front of the goalpost in the centre, as we see here. A challenge in the air by Rawsthorne. He struggled at one end, but Minicello does remarkably well here with players around him. And they do have a chance to score 8 points from his individual effort there to get that ball despite the defenders' attentions.
He still needed some finishing. Minicello still had players to beat. He's got great footwork for a big man. Signed a new deal recently with the Black and Whites. They're going to retain his services.
Jake Connor then, can he kick this from the sideline? No, he just pushes it the wrong side of the post, but now he will go back underneath the Wigan sticks because the penalty for the flying boot by Lewis Teeney on the wrist of Mark Minicello offers him the prospect of 2 points from in front of the posts. Hence, we call it an 8-point try, but it'll actually turn out to be a 6-point try.
There should be a better name for it, really, shouldn't there?
There should.
It's a penalty after the try.
Yes, but a penalty not on the spot where the penalty was
his only option is
committed.
To kick a goal.
It goes back in front of the sticks.
Well, Hull FC and Jake Connor won't be bothered about the name of it. They'll just care about the points on the board.
And they're into double figures.
Jake Connor specifically having to step into Mark Sneed's shoes, both in terms of kicking the ball out of his hand. It's a quality, accurate kick right into the place where his big, tall winger, Nick Rawsthorne, competes for the ball. The reward is for the big back rower, Mark Minicello, who does an exceptional job of scoring the try, getting the ball down, and then there's another benefit off the back of the 6 to make it 8.
But it only became 6 because he missed the conversion. Right, we maybe ought to find a new way of describing that, but for those who know the game, they will know what we're talking about. New viewers probably might be slightly confused, but I think we've covered it quite succinctly, Stuart.
Well, there's nothing else to say, really.
No.
It's a penalty after a try. After the conversion, his only option to kick a goal.
Okay, 10-0 Hull lead then after 14 minutes. It's not the start Wigan would have wanted this.
Eddie and Sean Wynne won't be happy. This side have missed 11 tackles in the opening 14 minutes. But Hull FC have not missed a tackle. Defensively, they're solid, bringing the ball away from their own red zone. They're very good. Started the game strongly, Jordan Thompson, the man who just played the ball.
It's a rare start for Jordan Thompson as well. 69 of his 90 appearances for Hull have been off the bench. Starting the game today.
Hold here, lads, wait for it.
And Houghton is waiting at dummy half, just in the shadow of the stands here. Gives it to Minicello again. He mightn't be a fan of the second Easter, but he looks like he's a fan of the Saturday afterwards, because he started this pretty brightly.
He's had great value, hasn't he, to this club. He's got a very good left foot step. He's so strong when he's carrying the ball. Another towering kick here.
It is, and it's making Tierney come for it, which he does, and Connor following up his own kick brings him down.
Well, he had to be brave then, didn't he? Lewis Tierney had Jake Connor in his eye line. Hull FC getting off the line. Real intimidating speed here. Nice and tight around the ruck area. Nominating, pointing up, getting numbers in.
Williams spreads the ball wide. This is Joe Burgess now, looking for a chink in this defensive armour. Doing quite well to get Wigan to the halfway line in the end. McIlaurum again waits on the halfway line, finds Powell. Powell then gets the ball away. Oh, it's just gone a little bit scruffy there for Wigan. The ball went backwards, they get away with it. Tierney does well to escape one net.
Great line.
Farrell not held, so play on. Gives the ball away to Powell. Here they come now with Forsyth. He gets it away to Davis. Good defence from Jamie Shaw with a little bit of help from Nick Rawsthorne.
What a brilliant ball look from Forsyth. That's the key ingredient, Eddie. You run fast, you get rewarded. Liam Farrell hits a very good line, like Barry says. Lands on his front, gets the way of the ball, and he's just a quality player. Look at him. As soon as he gets tackled, he's thinking, what's on next? Gets up, passes the ball. All of a sudden, it's attack, it's attack. The little goose step from Forsyth, and just run out of space, Davis did.
Well, this is top-class stuff, both sides of the ball. Liam Farrell with that build-up, carry and run. With a nice little slip pass. And Liam Forsyth, of the three players that have got into the Wigan side, kept the place because of injuries, Davis, Forsyth and Marshall. Liam Forsyth is probably the one that slips under the radar a little bit. He's got some quality touches, and it was exceptional defence from the black and whites to counteract it.
It was indeed. Had they missed the tackle, he was in. Was Tom Davis. Well, they haven't won, as Terry said earlier, Wigan, in 5 in Super League. Joe Burgess's late try at the Magic weekend against Warrington earned them a 24-all draw. Otherwise, it would have been 5 straight defeats as they come in here to the KCOM Stadium. Chris Green takes it forward again now for the black and whites.
He's running strong, though, aren't he? Thomas Lutherwhite looks like he's okay, Eddie. Taking his place on the sideline.
Yes, looks like he's waiting to return. If he's got back within the 15 minutes, he's going to be A-OK. Houghton's kick stands. Lawn then just evades Lewis Tierney. There was a possibility of a little bit of mix-up there, but Tierney took control of the situation, and Marshall plays the ball.
Good kick, good chase again from Hull FC. Lee Radford's men are doing the little things right. Danny Houghton, wow. Met to Liam Mataltai, hit him with everything he had then.
I suppose the question as the game wears on, Eddie, is whether Hull have enough big men to cope with the big men that we're going to bring in on. Tautai, just one such example. As the match was on, are they big enough and strong enough in the middle of the field to win it?
Tierney gets the ball away to Ryan Sutton, and Houghton was rocked back on his heels by Sutton. That doesn't happen too often. And a kick right down the middle of the park. I think this might just stay in the in-goal area. It does. It's a great kick, this. And Michaels has to run it back.
He looked up then, Mickey McLaurin. He split the fullback and the winger. It was a clever kick. He found that space. They can't give a penalty away here. Wigan now, they need to make sure they're disciplined.
Rawsthorne to his feet, plays the ball. Trimavavi picks it up off the ground one-handed. They have given the penalty away.
He knew what he was doing then. Carlos Trimavavi jumped out to his left. He knew there was a late defender and he knew that would force the issue for the referee. Played for and got there.
So some cheap meters for Hull coming up. And chances here for Brad Fash. An all 21-year-old substitutes bench this afternoon for Lee Radford. Danny Houghton gives it to Jake Connor. Jake Connor almost fooled them, managed to get a good offload away though, finds Minicello. Minicello to Kelly. He's clattered to the floor, just short of the line. That's an awful, ugly play, the ball, but it's play on.
It's good movement from Hull FC. They've got options, haven't they, at the line?
Green will play it now to Houghton. He'll go to the left-hand side. Oh, Sikamano still. And a good job that Williams was there. And Williams just about entangles himself, gets the ball wide though. It is Michaels. Second try for Steve Michaels. Great start here for Hull FC. This one's given without reference upstairs. Steve Michaels, 6 tries now for the season after his 2 tries in the opening 20 minutes of this match. And he's in a pretty good run of form. He got his first ever hat-trick in the 62-0 win against the Catalan Dragons in the Challenge Cup tie recently. And 14-0 here for Hull after 20.5 minutes.
Well, offload here from Hull FC. Good play from Jake Connor. Again, hitting lines. But look at this, you could tell that Wigan were caught short. Joe Burgess has shot the line. He's tried to close the play down. There's no communication from Wigan, and Danny Howland spots that. He spots the space. And you can see that Liam Marshall, the young winger for Wigan, he's got 3 players to try and defend against. There goes Joe Burgess, the number 5, gets caught out. Then all of a sudden, Liam Marshall's caught in no man's land.
It's a brilliant pass, absolutely brilliant pass. I thought Hull were lucky not to win in the south of France on Monday. One of the lessons they perhaps learned from that was that they made 11 breaks but didn't convert enough of them into tries. The chances they've had today here inside this opening 20-21 minutes, they're making sure whenever they get an opportunity, they put points on the board.
And Connor has kicked that conversion. Missed a couple out wide, got one in front of the sticks, and that one was slightly easier than the earlier conversions. Great ball from Houghton, you're right.
It is. It's one of the most difficult passes on the rugby field, the left to right pass. Most people in society are predominantly right-handed, so going to the opposite side will be a strength. But Steve Michaels just simply has to pouch that ball. And you see Jake Connor, the influence he's having on this game. He's the spark player for the Black and Whites. It's a late offload that finds some space and a defensive line in disarray.
It's a penalty on the halfway line, isn't it? Ball went straight out on the full.
I think they'll check this. There was a lot of foot movement as he went, so I didn't know whether he got his foot off the floor when he caught it. So yeah, he's going to check this.
Teeny's kick-off. Oh, the foot is down, and it's on the line, if nothing else.
He lifts his foot just before he catches the ball and then gets it down again, just in time. So that's a penalty back on the halfway line.
Right, let's get more news on Thomas Luluai, Bill.
Yeah, Tommy Luluai is back out there. He's passed the concussion test, and he's passed it with flying colours. He was even asked if he could remember what had gone on in the game by Professor Brooks, the team doctor. He said, I can remember everything, including knocking on with my very first touch. So he'll be hoping that things improve now he's back on the field.
Well, 16-0 down they are. They need something special from Luluai and Wigan here. This is Chris Green, meanwhile. Orne is rushing away the tacklers. In the end, it was Powell who got him down, but there's a penalty underneath the sticks coming for Hull here, because Powell held on too long.
Will they go for 2 points here? I think they will.
Yes, Danny Houghton points to the posts.
Sam Powell caught on the wrong side of the rut. You could see that Greeny lands on his front. He's leaving players in his wake, and all of a sudden, Sam Powell's just thinking, if I get off here, it could be the play the ball could be too quick, because I won't be able to get in position.
Big opportunity for Chris Green. He had a normal front rowers. Watts suspended. Scott Taylor unable to make this match. Slow, steady performer, Chris Green, his development as a front rower. I know we've spoke about it a couple of times. You're mid to late 20s, you're there, you hit your straps, you understand the game, you understand what to do and when to do it. And Chris Green, who's on that journey and that voyage of discovery, has a big opportunity today. It was a forceful run and a powerful play that forced the referee to blow the whistle.
With Jake Connor here to establish an 18-0 lead. We think it will be academic, and it is. For a whole side seeking a Super League home and away double against Wigan for the first time. They won 22-20 at Wigan in March, but they've got an awful record against Wigan on this ground. They've lost each of their last 8 home games against the champions, and in 17 meetings here, Wigan have won 12 and drawn 1. Well, they're up against it now.
Well, you mentioned that game in March, Eddie, at the DW Stadium. Hull led 18 points to 0 at one stage, I'm pretty sure, from memory, back in at that time. Wigan fought back, and I think they will have a chance to do that again here. Hull really need to take advantage while they are in the ascendancy at the moment. They've had lots of possession, they've had lots of penalties, all legitimate ones when the referees tweeted and caught Wigan offside or in the wrong position. And they've just got to hang on the Wigan side and hope that they can prevent Hull from scoring any more before they get a chance to attack.
They have to hang on to the big men like Sika Manu. And Jake Connor's enjoying himself, and Twimavavi now brings it to the halfway line. And down he goes.
They certainly look good carrying the ball. They're working the way up the pitch, nice and easy, nothing too spectacular.
And here is that man, Danny Washbrook. Down he goes under a hefty challenge from Liam Farrell. We get up and play the ball to Houghton. This is Kelly. Kelly goes high, looking for Talanoa. No, it's batted back. It's on the last tackle. It's on the last tackle. They have to keep this going. Kelly does so. Out of the back door, Connor picks it up, and Connor then kicks crossfield, looking for Rawsthorne. It was just too high for him. My word, that would have been a spectacular try for Nick Rawsthorne.
But there was a bit of luck in this play. Obviously, some loose offloads. They were coming down, and they were landing in front of a Hull FC player. It looked like a decent kick. It was a speculator at first, but he certainly found the space out wide, didn't he?
Nick Rawsthorne is jumping and leaping there. I think he's unaware of where the sideline is. I think if he had his time again, he had a glance at the sideline, he'd realise he had 2 or 3 more metres to play with.
Good solid defence now from Hull inside the Wigan 10. Joel Tompkins going down. Tompkins back after missing 2 since being a substitute at the Magic weekend. This is Tautai. Short ball. Minicello and Houghton dealing with the threat of Ryan Sutton. Luluai back on the field looking for a 40-20. Oh, I think he's got it, you know. I think he might just have this.
Just short,
no, just short. James Child, the touch just says a metre short.
I thought he had it as well when he jumps out from dummy half again. The 4th play. Here's the little general, Thomas Luluai. Kicks that ball. It was an excellent kick as well.
Yeah, it was just short, just the wrong side of that little line.
So he is that calming influence, isn't he? Thomas Luluai is a natural leader whenever he plays the game. He'll free up George Williams to do his stuff. Who at 22 years of age, he's still developing George Williams. He's an excellent player, but with the likes of Thomas Luluai playing, it takes that responsibility off George Williams' young shoulders.
And Luluai, of course, is the son of the former Hull legend James Luluai. We might well see him again on Thursday when they take on the Lee Centurions. That's our next appointment with you from the Betfred Super League, Thursday at 7 on Sky Sports 1. And then Salford against this black and white team, Hull FC. Salford going so well, second in the table at the moment. That's on Sky Sports 2 on Friday at 7:30. And on Saturday, 4:55 Sky Sports 3, red button. Have to press the red button to find that. Catalan and Huddersfield next Saturday at 5 minutes to 5. So a triple header next week from this competition. That's a lovely slip pass. Here is Jamie Shaw.
And every time he gets the ball, Jamie Shaw is electric, isn't he? Here's another one.
Kelly got the pass away as he was tackled. It's Talanoa. He spins away from a couple, goes one way, knew that Houghton maybe would have been in a position that might have drawn a penalty for an obstruction from the referee, so went back, and here now is Kelly. Clattered as he kicked that. Good kick though, and Tierney has grounded that ball in goal. Goal line dropout.
There's a good play, Albert Kelly. You want to make sure that your defensive line is set. The last thing you want is him running at you You can put as much pressure on Albert Kelly, but when he's playing and he's on his game, there's not many that's better than him. But look at Danny Washbrook, made it a name for himself for offloading the ball. And Jamie Shaw, look at that. The acceleration is incredible.
This is a massive minute for both of these sides as Wigan player receives treatment here. But you see teams come back from an 18-point deficit at times. You rarely see them when there's a 24-point margin. And Hull have that opportunity here. Repeat set, their opponents look with some fatigue, unsurprisingly when you consider how much defending they've done. And Hull are on fire. Can they find the killer blow?
Callum Field comes on for the injured Ryan Sutton. There he is, number 37. He's been on the bench for the last 4 as well. The goal line dropout to Shaw on halfway. Here is Masi Matongo, his 4th appearance of the season. Quite a threat he offers as well. Another big man, another big human being.
4 people it took to bring him down then. Again, Wigan trying to commit numbers into the tackle.
Short ball. Oh, here is Washbrook. Washbrook back inside to Houghton. They'll score again. Will Hull FC. Danny Houghton with the try.
Got a yellow card as well for Liam Farrell. I think he said something to Phil Bentham. He's going.
He was questioning the forward pass, didn't he? I think he thought the pass went forward, but he didn't do it in the right manner.
So Liam Farrell shown the yellow card.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with the pass, the run or the offload. Outstanding rugby league from the black and white. Sean Wayne frustrated with the way that his side for 29 minutes have been outplayed during this game. Beautiful line, nice footwork, quality offload, and the support as ever. Danny Washbrook's feet. We talked about him playing as a hooker, playing in the halves. Today he's playing in the second row. When he returned to the club from Wakefield, I guess he might have thought to himself, I haven't really, or I'm not in a position to hold down a regular spot. There's Liam Farrell on his way. But he's proved how crucial, how vital, how important he is to the team.
Connor will add the extras. So it is 24-0 to Hull FC. Danny Houghton's try created by the pass from Washbrook. Worth mentioning that Washbrook back for a second spell here for Lee Radford's men. He is the only survivor of the 2006 Grand Final defeat by St Helens still at this club. They got very close last year, Hull. 80 minutes away from Old Trafford. Wigan saw to it that they weren't going. And this could be a crucial afternoon for them in the battle for the top 8 first of all, and then the top 4 moving forward.
He's underrated, Danny Washbrook. He's one of those players who plays his heart out every week. You've got to give credit to Danny Houghton, the man who started it all off by getting out. He isolated a defender, slipped that ball to Danny Washbrook, who delivered a perfectly timed pass, didn't he?
Here he is again.
The try scorer.
Outstanding Danny Houghton, didn't he? He made over 60 tackles in France earlier this week. He's delivered 2 magical passes, one of which he's then benefited from and scored again. What a great game. He's put some kicks in. Another penalty here now against the Wigan Warriors.
Isa wouldn't allow the ball to be played.
Well, it's all going against them. Again, it's a strong carry from Minicello. They can't dominate him. Trying to slow that play down. Hands in from Isa. When you look at the work rate that Wigan have been doing, 136 tackles, Eddie. They're the team that's under pressure. Hull FC have only made 76. That's why they look fresh.
Back up.
It's almost twice as many, isn't it? Here's Washbrook again. He finds Kelly. Kelly then gets it away. Oh, and Talanoa drops it.
Well,
he was under pressure. He's annoyed with himself.
Well, you're right. Wigan threw absolutely everything. And it was Liam Marshall who tried to stop the big man, who's looked so powerful, Talanoa. Marshall cutting down that thinking time, cutting down that space. And as you said, Eddie, the frustration. He knew that there was an opportunity. He had men outside him, and Steve Michaels, and it could have been another try.
First appearance for him since his appearance here in a big defeat to Leeds on Easter Monday, 24-52. He's only played centre once this year. Here he is today at centre, and having a good afternoon of it so far, as are Hull, leading by 24 points to nil. Remember, Hull are coming into this match having lost their last 3. St Helens in the Magic, Lee at home and Catalan away. on Monday. Luluai, oh, he's poked his nose through the hole here, and they missed him with the ankle tap. Just slides and goes down before Minicello comes in and completes the tackle. That's for Forsyth. Here is Tierney. Into centre field it goes to Tompkins. Remember, Wigan down to 12. Williams. Lateral run from Williams. He just then gives it to the standing Tolima Tautai, who look to offload. Swimavavi gets him down on tackle number 5. Not the best play of the ball, but at least he touched it with his foot. Luluai with a high kick into the sunshine on the far side. And it's knocked forward and backwards. This could be a try. This could be a try for Wigan. And I think it's... Is it Liam Marshall?
I've got no try.
Oh, they've no try in the field.
You're checking the knock-on, please.
Depends on how the ball came out of that challenge for the high crossfield kick from Thomas Luluai. But no try on the field, Stuart.
No, it looked like it was a knock-on by Wigan just as they got the ball out from the challenge in the air. They're all onside from the kick. I don't think there's any problem with the challenge there. As we go in, we've got a knock-on first by Hull and then a knock-on by Wigan. So although I think it'll be confirmed as a no try, Wigan should get head and feet at the scrum for the first knock-on by Hull as the ball comes down there. It goes into the Wigan player, off his arm and goes forward.
Sure it's off his arm?
I think so, yeah. It's hit his arm as he's going through. He's trying to contest the ball.
I agree with Stuart. It's his left arm here, Eddie. It's the first knock-on from Michaels.
Really?
Into Liam Marshall. Yeah. His hand doesn't have to touch the ball for it to be a knock-on.
Well, it's a knock-on for him because it went into his chest, but if he's touched it with his arm, it will be no try, and it is a no try. They're not even looking at the groundings, but it will be head and feet to Wigan for the first knock-on.
They need this, Wigan. They spent a large part of this game defending the line, being put under pressure. Yeah, there's the touch from Steve Michaels, hits his forearm, bounces into Liam Marshall. Let's see what the Warriors can come up with in good field position.
Yeah, touch off the left arm of Liam Marshall, but scrum 10 metres out, head and feet to Wigan. Crucial here. And this is Callum Field. He takes tackle number 1. There's a big set of 6 here for Wigan. Could do with the score. Tierney hanging on. Tom Davis was hugging the touchline. A quick pass to him, it might have been over for the try.
I think he's missed an opportunity there, Eddie.
Forsyth, back he comes to Luluai. Into centre field to Tautai. They surround him the moment he gets the ball.
George Williams wants the ball. He demands it, but it comes the other way to Luluai.
Luluai gives it then to Willie Isa. Isa, oh, not the best from Isa. And again, Hull muscling up well in defence.
Well, even the setup play when they went back to the middle with Tautai and then it come back to the right-hand side, George Williams was screaming for the ball. Wigan have been misfiring in this game in attack. There have been a couple of times when the half-backs in Williams and Luluai have been going across the line. You've had people that have been static, they've been not pushing and pushing forward, leading those options, and they've had nothing to play off. But you've got to give credit to Hull FC, the way that they've defended.
Good scrambling defence.
Absolute quality.
Plenty of energy they have.
They're forcing Wigan into making mistakes.
The line speed they were getting up.
Heads in, lads.
Doesn't look like they're playing 3 games in 8 days, does it?
No.
It's 10, isn't it? 3 games in 10 days for Wigan and 9 days for Hull.
It's a tough schedule.
Okay, 2 into 19 goes 8.5 on average.
It's a tough schedule, but
it is, but you know, Sean Wayne isn't complaining about that.
No, and the point I made at the start of the game was the start and the beginning of the match. The opening quarter belonged to the black and white, so when it's time for them to defend, they have plenty left in the tank.
That's Jack Downs to his feet and will play the ball. Here is Talanoa. Matongo will take it forward.
Those legs pumping, the big white boots taking him forward.
Houghton waits into centre field to Thompson. Thompson then to Connor. Here is Shaw. Swimavavi across the line. Good tackle needed by Forsyth. Oh, but a penalty. A penalty here for Hull FC.
I think Forsyth goes back in here. You can see that he's pushed off by Swimavavi again. He's gone over the top of him. He's forced that ball out. That's why the penalty's been awarded.
Connor. Matongo. Another solid run from the big fellow. 12 metres away. Houghton. Connor. Oh, Kelly. Oh, and Kelly then gifts it. And here goes Joe Burgess. Now he's quick. He is quick as Joe Burgess. There are 3 after him. Is he quick enough? No, he isn't. Michael's got to him. Shaw, he's still going though, Burgess. What a great run.
What defence from Mark Minicello though. He's come from one side of the pitch to the other.
Well, there are only 2 or 3 in attack here for Wigan. They're just plodding a bit. This is Luluai. Now for Forsyth gets it wide to Davis. He must get in here for Wigan, and he does, and that's what they needed. Well, it was a gift at one end, and Burgess looked like he had the legs, but they came and chased him down, and then, well, attack was a bit slow to get up and support, and defence was a bit slow to get back and help out. And in the end, it was an easy walk-in for Tom Davis. Wigan are on the board.
Well, Joe Burgess does ever so well, gets himself between a couple of Hull defenders, comes up with the ball, but look at this effort here. Mark Minicello on the left. He's your left-sided back rower. Burgess changes his run because he sees Minicello coming over. He affects the tackle. Where Mark Minicello's supposed to be is over on the left-hand side. Wigan shift the ball over. They give the ball Summer, and as soon as they get the ball out wide, see Thomas Luluai does a tremendous job by just pumping that ball twice, pulling in the Hull FC defenders, and creates that space on the edge for Davis.
Liam Marshall, he's a try scorer. 16 times this year, 15 times this year, 16 tries in all, 15 in Super League, but he couldn't kick the goal.
Well, we get to see this again here now. They've moved the ball from the other side. Liam Marshall, perhaps fatigued here, having been involved. And I suppose Hull will be relieved here that this was a difficult conversion attempt for Liam Marshall. He's the 5th different goal kicker that Wigan have used this season. Morgan Escra's kicked the most, but even his success rate was only as low as 60%. They scored lots of tries, but they're not adding the extra 2 when they need them.
But the important thing is that 2.5 minutes from half-time, they are on the board, Wigan. Tremendous record they have here on this ground, though, Wigan. And if they are to maintain that, there's going to have to be some comeback in the second half. Connor gets us underway again. Williams was underneath the kickoff. Here comes Tautai. Minicello has been running around like a 2-year-old in this match.
And what is he, 35?
35, he is.
Been one of Hull FC's best signings over recent years, Mark Minicello.
He's everywhere today. Joel Tompkins for Wigan. 2 minutes to go to the half-time siren. That was Powell. This is Tautai. Ball's dropped by Tautai. Now Hull will try and get to the scrum quickly here. They know another score here just might kill Wigan off.
Well, some of the Wigan players saying this ball's pulled out. Tautai is looking at giving that ball to his teammate Callum Field. Brings the ball back in because he's under pressure. The referee, Phil Bentham, says that that was a loose carry.
Still no time called off. Maybe Hull weren't as quick as I thought they might be.
No, they will be, Eddie, because they know that if they run the clock down and they leave it with a minute to go before half-time, they'll get one crack, one set of 6 here.
And that's what they're going to get.
Hold. Wait.
Shaw to Minicello again.
2. Move.
Big last minute of the first half.
Here. Go 2.
Houghton comes left. Connor. The runner is Washbrook again.
3.
Chimambava was clattered.
Hold.
Gets up.
Go 3.
Rawsthorne. And here is Connor. Thompson. Good run. Solid run from Jordan Thompson. First came to our attention, didn't he, at the Castle of the Tigers.
Go 4.
Matongo. Held up by 3 defenders. Referee shouts he's held. Last tackle. Minicello looking to spin, and is tackled right on the Wigan try line.
Well, Lee Radford shaking his head. They look like they had him on the right-hand side. Albert Kelly stood in good field position. Matongo, how strong is that? Is here? Can't take him down, and there's a problem here with Mark Minicello, and is it Willie Isaac?
Well, the Hull FC players are wanting the clock stopped. They're wanting, because one of their teammates is getting attention, Danny Washbrook, for the referee to stop the game. There's a little bit of frustration from both sets of players.
What was Willie Isa doing though to Mark Minicello?
Well, he had the leg up and then he whipped him up, wouldn't he, with the other leg. There's something going on there,
He's
definitely.
irate, isn't he?
Do you know, he's one of the quietest lads off the pitch as well, Willie Isa.
Well, it's Samoa versus Italy. But he's an Australian Italian.
Well, he's caught underneath Willie Isa.
Oh, and then did Minicello
I think
catch him on the foot? Or did he stand on him?
I think he stood on his hand, I think.
Well,
Well, Talanoa comes running in as well, doesn't he? Takes exception to Willie Isa, putting his teammate Mark Minicello to ground.
Well, the referee's going to have to give a penalty, but which way?
As you tripped him. That's what he's reacted to. No.
This is massive.
That's
on
what
the
he's
stroke of
reacted to.
half-time.
Walk away. Mark. We've got the first offence, okay, which was he tripped you as you were trying to get to marker. Prefer if you didn't react.
I didn't do anything, guys.
No, you did. Okay, walk away.
it's
Penalties
going to be a
here.
penalty here to Hull FC, and 10 seconds to half-time.
I think that's
They'll surely take two, won't they?
I think that's under the heading of 6 and 2 threes, that.
Well, I don't think they've picked up what caused Willie Isa to react. I don't think they picked up the fact that he stood on his hand, so I think that's where it is as he gets up.
Sam Powell.
It's all a bit strange though, isn't it? Don't you think?
A bit odd, but this is it's not for this.
Okay, I'm not willing to put up with it, but I can hear every single comment.
Well, that's what.
You need to show some discipline.
And while we watch this, Sam Powell has been called out by the referee. He has said, I can hear every single comment, so obviously the Wigan players are getting in the ear of the official.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of frustration out there. The penalty count at the moment is 8-0 to Hull, so I think that's where a lot of the frustration's coming from.
And we've not seen the end of this now, the second half. Wow. Now 15 minutes to cool the heels. Come back second half.
So Jake Connor then to make it 26-4 at the break. We know this is the last kick of the first half. We've heard the half-time siren, and that is exactly what the score is, 26 points to 4. So an 8-0 penalty count in Hull's favour. That will not impress Sean Wayne, I'm sure. It certainly isn't impressing the Wigan players. Hull have come out and they have played really well in this law to his players. He expects better than what they have produced in that first half. Hull, well, they played really well. You can only play what's in front of you, and 26-4 tells its own story.
Well, they've not been disciplined enough. Wigan, they fell off tackles. They've not had any decent field position, but you've got to credit the way Hull FC have carried the battle to them. The forwards have been very good. And a little set to before half-time, well, it could open up early on in this second half, Eddie.
Liam Farrell is back on the field for Wigan at the start of this second half, so they are up to full complement of players. Williams with the catch from the high kick-off from Jake Connor. OK, 40 minutes then, and a big 40 minutes for these two clubs. Hull will take a massive step forward. What will it mean for Wigan if they go home here beaten by Hull? I think they'll be 5 points behind the black and whites on the table.
Well, they won't be thinking that. They've got 40 minutes to address that, try and put things right, but to score 22 points in 40 minutes, they've only scored 4 in the opening 40. You think it's going to be difficult for them.
Farrell might be a bit fresher than most. He had the extra 10 minutes. That was Marshall to Williams. He is Tautai, now Luluai, and across the line it goes somewhat untidily, but picked up by Liam Forsyth. Takes 4 to bring the youngster down on tackle number 5. Now the kick from Luluai will be high and deep, and it is. Marshall's chasing it, but Jamie Shaw's underneath it. Beg your pardon, Steve Michaels is underneath it.
It's a good kick, wasn't it, from Thomas Luluai? Traps Michaels in the corner, and again, how many times have we seen this?
Well, this is good. This is more aggressive from Wigan.
Well, they like to intimidate. This is where they want to defend. And you said at half-time, the 8 penalties that they give away, they can't do that in the second half.
He is a handful, though, isn't he? Talanoa looking for a quick play of the ball, and Tautai all over his back. And that's the 9th penalty that Hull have received in this match so far.
Well, that's the perfect way to deal with aggressive line speed.
got a team warning
they're on
from
a
Phil
team
Bentham.
warning.
Yeah, he's put him on a team warning. It's basically there's been 4 penalties in about 11 minutes of playing time, so I think that's the reason for it rather than the 9-0 penalty count.
Well, at the start of that set of 6, Liam Marshall with an enthusiastic kick chase, followed up by the rest of his teammates. And you've got to control those emotions. Sean Wayne would have got stuck into his team talking about their passion.
Albert problem Kelly here for Albert Kelly.
Albert Kelly receiving treatment.
Sternum injury. Painful one. I think he may have had some attention around that in the first half, but he's back up on his feet, and they hope he stays out on the field as Jake Connor puts a brilliant kick to touch.
Well, that's a cheap 40 metres with that kick, isn't it?
Very cheap. Let's get half-time news quickly as Hull build this attack. Bill?
Sean Wayne not impressed with the side's first 40 minutes. He let them know it in no uncertain terms, looking for much better effort all round, but in particular defensively. If they can get that right, then maybe they can build something on that. Lee Radford, on the other hand, very happy with what he saw from his side in the first half. Wants more of the same. Do not allow Wigan away back into this game.
That's what they're looking to do here, not allow Wigan away back. Kelly's short ball was picked up by Jack Downs, who played it. This now is Thompson. Centre field. And there's a Wigan player receiving treatment now. Is it Sam Powell?
I think it is, Eddie.
Yes, it is.
He went down, he was struggling to get back. In the defensive line, he puts his head in the wrong position. Mark Minicello, well, he's causing some problems, isn't he, Mark Minicello? Left Powell on the floor. He gets it wrong there, and then is the...
Well, there was a glance of the boot, and then his head's right underneath his legs. He's trying to get to his feet. He's coming off anyway, Sam Powell. Another concussion test on the way.
I think it's the initial contact.
Yeah, you're right. It's head in the wrong place. Ricochets.
Wait.
There you go. In an ideal world, the head would be closer to his right shoulder than his left shoulder, because he's making a left shoulder tackle.
He got it bang on the head off Minicello's thigh. Tackle count continues. Matongo. Oh! He almost caught them cold.
Did well, Taney, to stop him then.
Houghton spins the ball wide. Here is that man Downs again. Wigan come across in numbers. The ball is lost. The ball is lost by Downs. So that's an escape for Wigan.
Well, they prevented Hull FC from scoring a try, but what can they do with this in this next set of 6? They're trapped in the corner. Looks like Hull FC have all the energy, have all the desire and determination to get off the line and hunt. That's just a loose carry. Yeah, Joe Birch's arms all around there, but it's a loose carry. There's nothing wrong with that.
Move! 2. Hold. 2.
Michael Oram to Liam Farrell. They look to the big names here in the second half, Wigan, to get them back into this match. Williams, one of them. Ball goes over the top and finds Liam Marshall. Now Marshall, as we know, can score tries. Look at this. What a try from Liam Marshall. Fantastic stuff from him. His 16th try in the Super League, is 17th in all. He got one against Hull in the 2022 at home in March. He's got one here that just might spark them into life.
Well, George Williams goes across. He's got a little outline. He gives the ball over the top, and it's a loose ball on the floor. But isn't Liam Marshall red hot? He knows how to finish a try. Look at this. He goes in, then he goes away. He knows he's got the speed to get around Scholl. And that's the intelligence of the youngster. He'll back himself. He'll back every opportunity that he gets. And isn't he a tremendous player to watch, the youngster?
He's got some speed. He decided then to take on Jamie Shaw, who is no slouch. He's Took him on the outside.
He's lost the kicking duties, though. He scored a brilliant try. I thought he might have had a chance to add to the 4 and making it 6, but George Williams has taken over again.
Tough kick. Tough kick for George Williams. Kicked 8. Hasn't kicked 9. 26-8 though. Is this the comeback starting?
Well, there was plenty of blues ringing round the stadium.
Well, they think it's a forward pass.
They felt that was a slightly forward pass, I think.
Well, I would disagree with that. The ball goes along the line for the first 3 metres and then drifts forward after that. There's not a problem with the pass. The ball wasn't passed forward.
If it was 26-22, there might be more of a discussion on the terraces.
Well, the try was awarded, but let's give that man some credit as well. He goes in, he holds up Jamie Shaw, then he backs his own speed to go on the outside.
That's tremendous.
Yeah,
great pace from him. Great pace from Liam Marshall.
Again, I'll say it, I'll always back youngsters who'll back themselves.
21 years of age, Liam Marshall. Tom Davis, 20. Lewis Teeney, 22. George Williams, 22. No matter what happens between now and the end of the season, this will stand the Wigan club in great stead moving forward. Here is Burgess.
They've got some momentum now, Wigan, haven't they?
Oh, Marshall got the ball away.
He's going to let him play the ball again. He says the tackle had been completed.
There's ball movement now, there's energy, there's effort from the Cherry and White players. They spend 40 minutes in free fall really being outplayed by the Black and Whites. Marshall, the scorer of that try, is told to go back and play that ball again.
Mainly because he called the tackle complete and then he passed the ball. That's why he's giving it back.
Well, in the circumstances, Wigan might not be too upset about that. Michael Loram plays it now to Burgess. Here is Tompkins, and it's Luluwai with a nice, delicate chip to the corner. Very well dealt with, though, over on that far side.
Yeah, Nick Rawsthorne knew he was under pressure on that play. Couldn't afford to allow Wigan back-to-back tries at the end of that set. But this is the big Wigan effort here now in defence to try and force a mistake. He got back, got up on the air, just about caught it before Liam Forsyth. There's Matonga now, tries to get all over this 20-metre line.
Just a word about Nick Rawsthorne. He's a close season signing from Halifax. This is his 3rd appearance in a row. And he looks the part. Good run from Jamie Shaw, who always looks the part. Important tackle that from Lima Tautai.
They can open it up, Jamie Shaw. As can this one, Danny Houghton.
Good hit by George Williams. That's the turnover. I don't think they realised they'd reached tackle number 5. Houghton looking and querying.
That's the second time since we started the second half that Hull on the last play have come up with what, by their standards, are really poor options. They passed the ball to Jack Downs when they were close to Wigan's line, that led to nothing. There's not much option for him there. And then again, they've been tackled there without really asserting any pressure. They're giving a window of hope to the Warriors.
Williams gets the ball away as he fell to McIlorum.
Well, there's a lot more action.
Wigan crowd appealing over on the far side for a swinging arm by Chris Green. Luluwai back on the inside to Tierney. Lewis Tierney showed it to Williams, bounced off Kelly.
They've certainly upped the tempo in their own game, Wigan, in the second half.
Here's McIlorum again, went to go left, came into centre field. Frank Paul Nuasala. Last one for Wigan. Not the best pass, but it finds Luluwai, who stabs it through the legs. And Shaw will respond. Shaw is still going. And he has some support. Here it is with Albert Kelly. And Kelly gets away from a would-be challenge, but can't get away from the second one. Wants to blow knock on there. Knock on by Kelly. Wanted to play it quickly. There was nobody there, actually. There was nobody behind him to pick that ball up. And that's a great escape for Wigan. And a big error by Kelly. Look, there's nobody there.
So Albert Kelly, it's all about speed. He's thinking one of his teammates are going to be behind him.
Burgess is lying in the ruck, Stuart.
Well, I don't think Burgess is lying. Kelly's got a lot of room to play the ball there. He's actually trying to step over him to play the ball. He could have stood where he was, played the ball, and would have carried on. Well,
we compliment the counter-attacking ability here, Paul, but what about the counter-defence that the Warriors have done to get enough men back? Liam Marshall is the one eventually involved, I think, in here, isn't he? He's the one lying around that area, is it? And the whole side miss an opportunity to kill off their opponents.
Lee Radford wouldn't be having a go at Albert Kelly for making that mistake. He'd be saying to his teammates, you've got to get up there, you've got to get behind him, you've got to push with him. He does drop the ball. He's made the most errors in Super League, Albert Kelly, but he touches the ball more than most of his teammates, Eddie.
Liam Farrell goes down first tackle, inside his own half. Tautai. Short ball from him. That's a decent run from Isa, halted by Trumavavi. Trumavavi could have been penalised then. Here now is Williams. Wide it comes to Burgess. Burgess stands and has the ball in one hand and has The chest of Talanoa in the other. Briefly. Marshall. Williams. Joel Tompkins. McIlaurin. Well, that looks forward from this angle. Here is Tautai.
George Williams is busy at the minute. He's commanding the ball over on this left side.
McIlaurin again finds Williams. Checks back inside. Flings the ball over his shoulder and backwards. McIlaurin gets it. Oh! And they nearly made a porridge of that. They're going backwards, Wigan. They're not coming forwards. Now they might with Tierney. He gives it to Marshall. Marshall with the kick. Into Nick Rawsthorne's arms.
Good pressure from Danny Houghton, though.
And good chasing by Marshall.
Well, Hull FC fans thinking that could have been a penalty for interference.
Well, the ruck is becoming a little untidy at the moment. The Harvey goes down.
We're going to have to make it as messy as they can. They need to slow this game down.
That's a penalty.
And again, it's just not helping them out. You do all the hard work, you get the ball as far away from your try line as possible. And this is the area where you want to defend, and all of a sudden you give a penalty away, you let them off the hook.
I don't think I've ever seen a team that are 26-8 in front, under as much pressure as what Hull has just appeared there, didn't they? They were desperately, there's a nervousness about their play. They get up to the towards the halfway line here.
Well, they know if they give Wigan a sniff at 26 points to 8, there is a chance for the champions. But the penalty count against them of 10-0 is killing Wigan at the moment.
And that's the key, Eddie. 10 set to 6 more, that could be 60 tackles that you've given up.
Thompson up the middle, halted by Frank Paul Nuwasala and Tolima Tautai. Houghton. Joel Tompkins deals with the threat with a bit of help from Liam Farrell. Inside the 20. Washbrook to Thompson.
This is for the drop goal, Eddie, I think.
Well, Shaw is there. Are they setting up for this? It comes to Albert Kelly. Kicks it wide, looking for Michaels. Finds Michaels. Tierney does a good job. Tierney stuck to him like glue then. It would have been a hat-trick for Steve Michaels.
Oh, Steve Michaels certainly played well in this game, hasn't he? Leaped high to catch that ball.
Tierney is injured. Needs a bit of help.
Well, the Wigan team needs some help. The two wingers are getting in. Trying to speed the game up. Michael McIlaurin acting half-back, pointing. Trying to energise his team.
Hold.
McIlaurin again. There's a hand in there from Chris Green, but it might have been trapped. Sutton. Good penalty, offside. It's the first Wigan penalty of the match.
Good carry from Ryan Sutton. He hurts people when he carries the ball.
Here's a question for you, Stuart. Have Hull been that squeaky clean all afternoon so far that with 53 minutes or thereabouts on the watch they concede only their first penalty?
Well, I think they've just got the momentum all the time. They're the ones going forward. They're the ones that are playing the ball quick. And Wigan has struggled with that. So, you know, in that respect, they've given a few more away. But remember, we also have the penalty where the ball was kicked out on the full. Yeah. You know, not everything's around the ruck.
Here is Lulawai, turns it back on the inside to Sutton again. Went underneath the challenge of Green. McIlaurin. Tompkins. Tompkins gets the ball away to McIlaurin again. And he gets it to Sutton. Good job that Thompson, Shaw and Minicello were there. McIlaurin. Oh, how about that from Jake Connor? Oh, he's given a knock on. He's given a knock on.
Time off.
Wow, does Jake Connor play for Hull City? Is he the goalkeeper? It was a big effort, wasn't it? And Jake Connor, who's filling in his halfback. Look at this. The number 14 gets off the line, gets in between the ruck and Thomas Lulawai.
And the referee's saying, is it, that the ball's hit the floor, so there's a knock on. He hasn't caught it cleanly. But looking again on that view.
Well, it looks like he might have caught it, but I reckon he'd be offside on the goal line, though.
Heads in, fellas.
Well, it's not given for that. Not given as an offside. It's given as a Wigan scrum for the knock-on. Would have been interesting.
But look at him, he's calling for players over, and he knows that they're short. Yeah. This is the reason why he does that.
Heads in.
He's gone. He's got to have a foot on the line when that ball's played.
Would have been interesting if the ball had gone up the other end, they'd have touchdown, they'd have looked at the video referee for a decision there.
Well, they don't look at the goal line. Our players offside on the 10 metres.
Goal one.
McIlorum into centre field to Luluai. He lets Willie Isa have it. Willie Isa backing towards the hole posts.
Step back. Goal 2.
5 metres away. McIlorum gives it width, finds Williams. Williams changes direction, gives it to Farrell. Liam Farrell, solid run. Solid run from Liam Farrell.
3. Move!
Down he goes, tackle number 3. Another penalty. Well, they're coming thick and fast, that's 2.
Well, he's injecting himself into the game, isn't he, Liam Farrell? From the left side, he finds himself on the right.
Nuasala takes it in on the first tackle from this second penalty for Wigan. McIlorum, still and still.
2. Move!
They get to him. Minicello gets off him, he plays the ball to Isa. Luluai, Sutton, straight at Washbrook. Sutton still, great effort from Ryan Sutton, just short.
Step back.
Tompkins, back he comes to Williams, he dances inside Kelly and does a pirouette.
That's the credit
again.
to the Hull FC defence. They're getting up quick on Williams. He's had to cut inside, cut back inside 3 or 4 times now.
Tompkins wide, Marshall did well to hang on to that, it was going out. Then gets the ball away to Farrell, brilliantly done. Farrell then to Nuasala. Nuasala back it goes to Luluai. And Luluai gets it away eventually to Isa. Isa then to Forsyth. Forsyth keeps it going to Isa. Back it comes then to Luluai. Luluai bullets the pass wide to Farrell. Farrell sees a gap. Farrell goes for it, drops the ball off. Brilliant, brilliant try from Wigan. Lewis Tierney. What a try that was. What a try from Lewis Tierney. I don't know who you credit with that. It could be the entire Wigan team. Anybody who had their hands on the ball was inventive and inspirational. And Tierney comes up with a try that puts Wigan right in the hunt.
Well, you credit the character, you credit the character of the team and the individuals within it. No player at any point is allowed to rest. Liam Farrell touches the ball on more than one occasion, but he's putting himself in the frame, making himself an option. Luluai, Isa, and the Cherry and White's players know that while ever this ball is alive, while ever they make themselves available, that's the crucial part. Liam Farrell's decision to step back off his left foot, go into the space and score his side a try.
Well, they've thrown 11 passes, haven't they, to score those points? And there'll be a quiz at the end of the match which Wigan player didn't touch the ball. But at the moment, Hull now look under tremendous pressure, even though they've got a significant lead on the scoreboard. 12 points with over 20 minutes to go. We've got players down injured, one's receiving treatment from physios, the referees had to stop the clock.
Liam Marshall, you notice, would have kicked the goal. The goal-kicking responsibilities have gone to Marshall, to Williams and back to Marshall again. That's the first successful kick that Wigan have put in. 26-14, Jake Connor taken a bang. He's deep back in play, just coming away from his own goal line. Must have had a bang on the head, and I think he will leave the field for the time being to be assessed.
Well, they're going to lose the... They've lost the scrum half and possibly the standoff with Albert Kelly again receiving treatment. The two playmakers who need to dictate. They'll be hoping that Danny Washbrook can have a big involvement in Danny out, and well, they need him now more than ever.
Williams is underneath the kickoff. Here comes Nuasala. I think we can just have the sniff of something here. It's 2 converted tries. And Liam Farrell, he had the spell in the sin bin. He's come out, he's gritted his teeth. And he's had a go for Wigan.
Said Eddie about 5 minutes ago, they've just upped the tempo. The forwards are finding their elbows and knees. They're trying to play the ball quickly. They're running at one defender, trying to win every collision.
Luluai, it's a bye to Tierney. Tries in 3 in a row now for Lewis Tierney, by the way.
Release 4. Hold.
Davis was the dummy half. Luluai and Joel Tompkins. Gets Wigan to the 40-metre mark. Last one coming up here. Luluai will hoist this high. The chase is on. It's a tester for Rawsthorne. Oh, he's tackled in the air. And he holds his hand up, apologises.
well, Tom Davis,
Time off.
he gets that wrong, doesn't he?
Getting treated.
Right underneath him, wasn't he? Right underneath him.
Well, it was an attacking kick from Luluai. You can just see that Isa and Davis hit the winger whilst he's in the air, and that's illegal.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just a penalty, even though, you know, well, he's tackled him in the air. He doesn't come down in a dangerous position. Had he come down with his head lower than his hips, hit the ground, I think it would have been a different outcome. He's got the contact there, and he comes down on his side. So I think it'll just be a penalty.
Rawthorne, 21 years of age. He was out on loan at York this year. He got 2 tries last Monday against the Catalan Dragons.
He had to be brave. Imagine the nerves going through him then, knowing that Wigan were on the front foot.
Well, he knew he was going to get clattered, but he didn't think he'd get this while he's still up in the air.
So brave, aren't they, the outside backs, when they go up and they challenge for those high kicks. Certainly did well.
So Hull make a bit of good ground with the penalty. But in some disarray, Connor is off the field.
Well, Hull FC now be just looking to ride these tough periods.
Matongo stopped dead in his tracks by Ryan Sutton. Chris Green now. Here is Kelly. From wide to Talanoa.
Takes some handling, Talanoa again. Looking at Rams on his front. It's going to be a quick play of the ball there. Could they get a penalty?
Shaw gets as far as Tompkins and McAlorum. Houghton to Chris Green. Goes further wide. Still plenty of time for anything to happen in this match. Wigan looking to come right back. Hull looking to put it to bed. Kelly's kick wide looking for Michaels. Off the hands of Michaels. Oh, and a no-look pass. It's come up for them. Matongo, he keeps it going. We've seen some marvellous individual play here. Jamie Shaw. Oh, what a try from Jamie Shaw. What a try from the Hull fullback. It's not been given yet, but they do have a try on the field. Well, both sides have looked hell-bent on keeping this ball alive whenever they can, but that was sheer invention and individual brilliance from Jamie Shaw.
That was pure quality from Jamie Shaw, wasn't it?
Touch and goal and grounding is what the officials have asked for. I don't think there's any problem with the initial kick. And everybody was onside. It came off Wigan, so it's sorry, it came up back off Hull, so it's still last tackle, as Phil Bentham's indicates in there. And then does he manage to get this ball down? There's no point in, well, everybody's onside, but he gets the ball back.
He gets the ball anyway, doesn't he?
And there's nobody waiting for the kick. He gets possession. Does he get it down? Well, his right arm is very close to the touching goal line.
It's a try.
But that's a try. No problem at all.
That's outstanding.
Fantastic try from Shaw. Outstanding.
It was an offload, a loose offload. He gets it. Wow, this is incredible.
Try is given. 8 tries in the last 7 now for Jamie Shaw in the 2016 Dream Team at fullback, and that is a 2017 Dream try for the fullback Jamie Shaw.
Well, Hull needed a player to step up and step forward, and Jamie Shaw's done that here. You know, there's a World Cup at the end of this year, and some players are determined, even though they're not in the squad currently, to find a way onto the plane and walk out in that tournament. Jamie Shaw strikes me as one who's played tonight as he's desperate to impress the international selectors. That's a brilliant try, which I think at this point in the match is more important than the 4 points he just puts on the scoreboard. Hull had been locking in confidence, they've been rolling backwards, losing collisions, but he's turned that all around with a wonderful try.
And a change of kicker now for Hull FC, because Connor's off the field. They've given the job to Rawthorne. How about this? Whoa, what a kick from Nick Rawthorne. Well, that's the icing on the cake.
I told you, Nick Rawthorne, tremendous kicker. Got good power, good distance, and very accurate as well. This is a sensational effort. Offloads, much like the Wigan try, but you're right, Phil, it's halted the momentum that Wigan had started to gain and gather the last 5 minutes. They'll try and wrestle it back now, the Warriors.
They will. But the wind has just gone slightly out of Wigan's sails, but there's still plenty of time. We've got a quarter of the match remaining. But still mount a comeback. What do you say, Phil? Never write the Wiganers off.
You've told me never write the Saints
He's
off.
lost the ball. Chris Green bringing the ball away. He was met with some fierce Wigan defenders.
Well, here you go. Here you go. Wigan have not turned this in yet. Yeah, the ball just comes out clean.
Yeah, Ryan Sutton.
Let's get down to Bill. Sorry, Terry. Down to Bill quickly.
Jake Connor just emerging from the dressing room after undergoing his concussion assessment. He doesn't look too happy with life at the moment. Looked very groggy when he came off, but he's taken his seat in the dugout. Remains to be seen whether he'll be coming back. But Sam Powell certainly won't be coming back for the Wigan Warriors, because he got a bang on the head. It looked pretty innocuous at the time when he got a whack on the head from a stray boot, but he's feeling pretty groggy.
So Powell will not return, which limits Sean Wayne's options on the interchange. There he is. Wigan here with Williams to Farrell. 10 metres out, he's grounded on tackle number 3. McIlaurin goes back the other way. Williams again. Fires the ball then to Luluwai. Luluwai up and over the top. And it's 6 to go for Wigan. And Davis has it 5 metres away. That's the 0. So 6 to go from here. Luluwai. Nuasala back to Williams. Turns, goes back the other way.
They look flat, Wigan. There's no one moving. When that ball was looking to go out left, everyone was stood still.
Warm day, and probably the toll of the last week or so beginning to take its toll on all the players out there. Here is Tompkins now. Quick play the ball. McIlaurin. Flat ball. Oh, to bounce. The ball is bounced. Play on. It was Sutton. Sutton couldn't get it down properly. Here goes Minicello, the oldest man on the field. To the halfway line. What a run.
Well, Ryan Sutton's tried everything to get his team back in front, but this is Hull FC on attack now.
And here they come with Twimavavi. Here they come with Twimavavi, and Davis wouldn't be put off. Could be penalised here, and here's the second push. It's a shame for Davis, because he did everything right until that last little push. As Twimavavi tried to get back to his feet.
Well, the balance from Carlos Twimavavi as defenders rocking back on the heels.
Is that not a try-scoring situation, Terry? Is that not sin bin?
Well, we had a touch just calling that the defence was back in position, so they obviously thought not.
It was a glorious break from Minicello, wasn't it? 50 metres upfield. They've gone straight from defending their own line. Ryan Sutton loses possession, and here they are attempting to score another try, the black and whites.
Manu plays the ball to Houghton. Here is Matongo. Masi Matongo goes down, doesn't make too many metres forward, but holds on to the ball, which is all important. Houghton. Manu, Houghton again. Here is Kelly. Kelly then to Jamie Shaw, not another one surely. Halted by Williams. Talanoa. Chris Green fancies getting on the score sheet. No, it wasn't Chris Green, beg pardon. It was Jansen Turgott who fancied getting on the score sheet. There he is, the 25. Turgott again! That's a turnover. Williams stood his ground.
Just backs himself, doesn't he, on 2 occasions. Doesn't come up. I'm not sure his coach, Lee Radford, will be happy with that. Well, he had decent shape up on the left-hand side. He certainly played well, haven't they, Hull FC in this game.
Wigan aren't done. Davis goes down. 16 minutes remaining. Nuasala. Penalty. Hanging on too long.
That was a lovely little pass. Forwards running in tandem. Nuasala, in an attempt to play the ball, is prevented, but it's nice ball movement. I think it was Ryan Sutton who just tipped it on to the big fella. He got a one-on-one, and Wigan in possession.
Here's Burgess now for the Warriors.
Held!
in good field possession where they start this set.
Hold. Go 1.
25 metres out. Tao Tai. They're 20 metres away.
2. Go.
McIlorum ambles into dummy half. Stands as Manu tried to go for it. Luluai, arced run from Thomas Luluai. Halted by Washbrook. Bit of help from Trimavavi. Tierney waits. Far side of the field. Back it comes this way. Willie Isa. Ryan Sutton now.
4. Move.
McIlorum just injects a little bit of pace and play the ball. Up and over the top to Tierney. Mano on the overlap wide. Fumble by Forsyth. Good covering play by Trimavavi, but he still manages to get the ball away to Lewis Tierney.
5.
Last one coming up. They have to chance their arm, Wigan. They're doing that at every opportunity. McIlorum to Tompkins, who managed to hold on. Williams switching the direction of the attack. Oh, picked up by Albert Kelly. Now has Albert Kelly got the legs? Has Albert Kelly got the legs?
Tom Davis is coming for him.
It's too late. Albert Kelly's going over. He's saluting the fans already. Albert Kelly for Hull KR last year. Albert Kelly for Hull FC this year. All the sins have been forgotten of 12 months ago. And now he's a hero in West Hull. But he was the villain 12 months ago. Albert Kelly. Is he the X factor for the Black and Whites this year?
Well, how many times have we seen Hull FC defending the line, Wigan coming up with a mistake, Hull FC with a big breakaway, and there was nobody in a Wigan shirt that was going to catch Albert Kelly. The ball goes to a wrong man in Joel Tompkins. It goes out wide then to George Williams, who tries to stab the ball through. And Albert Kelly, as always, bouncing on the spot. He loves playing the game. His sheer effort to run 90 metres with the ball. Wigan looking to stretch Hull FC, but they're biding the time, they're backing off. They know they've got the numbers. And then look at the speed here from Albert Kelly. He certainly loves this part of the game.
Well, you're right, Eddie, after what you said. If Hull can get their defence to be the same standard as every other side, then they've got to play there with speed and a scoring instinct. That will give them every opportunity of making this year even better than last. It's been sensational. Clearly the best recruitment decision of 2017 so far, and they're hoping that this is only the first half that's going to get better.
Well, he kicked one off the touchline not long ago, Nick Rawsthorne. This from bang in front.
Time on.
And it goes over with ease, and here's a statistic that will not go down well with Sean Wayne and Wigan fans. That's the 80th point Wigan have conceded in the last 2 games.
Well, that's just pace from Albert Kelly. He picks up the ball, he sniffs the opportunity, races 70 metres and salutes the black and white fans that have celebrated him home as he scores the try.
They go for a contested kick-off. Burgess has it for Wigan. They've not turned it in yet, despite the fact that it's 38-14 now, with 12 and a half to go. It would mean a monumental comeback.
2.
And 4 converted tries in 13 minutes. Going to be a big effort from Wigan.
It is. Is this the first of them?
3.
Maybe not.
Move. Stay back.
Liam Forsyth picks himself up, plays the ball. It's with Luluai. Now, Tao Tai. Tao Tai quickly away to Liam Farrell.
About that. They've lost 10 metres, 15 metres because of the aggressive line speed of the black and whites. Oh, they give a penalty away. Talanoa tangled up in the play of the ball. Phil Bentham has no option.
So Wigan will come again from 20 metres out. Here's Tao Tai.
Move. Go 1.
McIlorum. Isa.
2. Move. Go 2.
Chance here. Held up.
3.
Well, Danny Houghton knew exactly what Mickey McLaurin was going to do. Wraps
Go
onto
on,
that
lads.
ball, doesn't let the hooker get the ball down underneath the post.
Hold. Okay.
So
go
they'll carry
3.
on the tackle count from 10 out. Luluai, short ball. Forsyth
Still
stands
3.
and gets it away. Back to Luluai. Long pass then into centre field to Williams. Williams stabs it in looking for Burgess. He'll score, will Burgess. Joe Burgess's try into double figures now. Back in the side after missing the game against Wakefield on Monday.
Well, this
There's the first of them, Barry.
This is the kick that George Williams were looking for on the previous attempt. Luluai with a booming pass finds his standoff, who just dabs the ball in behind the line, and Joe Burgess, as they have done many, many times combined, the kick is met by a chase, collected, and a try scored.
Oh, Marshall has missed with the conversion attempt. I think he knows now that that's the last throw of the dice. 3 converted tries in 10 minutes for the draw, it might have been. Now in the need to score 4 times.
Well, this is almost an undefendable play. They've used it often, used it effectively, and even though teams are aware that that's what's going to happen as George Williams gets possession, there was no way they could stop Joe Burgess from scoring again.
Let's go, boys.
We're going to have to bounce back, assuming here they can't come back and win it in the last 10 minutes. Not long before they play Lee. We'll get to see them play Lee later this week, and oh, how the Centurions will be pumped up for that one.
Yes, Lee will be pumped for that against their near neighbours. And don't forget, of course, that both of these sides have got cup ties looming in a couple of weeks' time. Hull will play Castleford here, and Warrington will entertain Wigan. 2 really tough ties. But Lee Wigan is first on the agenda next Thursday at 7 on Sky Sports 1, followed by Salford against Hull. Salford going so well at the top of the table too. Friday 7:30 Sky Sports 2, and then on the red button via Sky Sports 3, the Dragons against the Giants next Saturday at 5 minutes to 5 in a week's time. It keeps on coming at you. The Betfred Super League live on Sky. This is Jack Wells, Luluai, and Williams. Oh, great ball, Burgess. Isa, Burgess takes over again. Burgess going down the right this time. Tracked all the way by Twimavavi and Washbrook. McIlaurin. Luluai. Last tackle, 20 metres out. Need a little bit of magic here from Isa or Williams. Isa with the kick to the in-goal area, just bounces the wrong way through.
Just too much weight on this kick from Wigan. When they get in good field position, George Williams drops it onto his boot. He's looking for some of his players on the inside to push up and put some pressure on Hull FC. But too many of them just sitting back, not anticipating the play. I don't think Wigan, if you look at the 71 minutes that we've watched this game, and they've not poked the nose through the line. I think Hull FC's forwards, even when they're missing the likes of Taylor, Ellis, Watts, I think they've played very well. The forwards, they've really took the game to Wigan.
And Mark Minicello has led that charge. He's just been substituted, and there was a huge round of applause in appreciation of the Australian-Italian international.
Knock on here, though.
Asika Manu losing the ball on impact.
Time off.
Talima Tautai hits him over the top, dislodges the ball. Still got another 8 minutes to go. Lee Bradford will be hoping his side finishes the game off well.
Well, Sikamano was suspended for a couple of games following the match against Warrington in April. It cost him the chance to captain Tonga in the international weekend.
Out.
Tom Davis now for Wigan, being shepherded to the touchline by Twimavavi. Offside? Is it dummy half? Jack Wells.
Yeah, they find it really difficult to get through the Hull FC line. When the outside backs are getting the ball, they're trying to run around them.
Williams finds Farrell. Farrell over the top. Oh, and over the top of Liam Marshall as well. He's always offering himself, though, isn't he, the young winger?
Oh, he's a quality player with a big career ahead of him, Liam Marshall. Again, you've got to credit Hull FC's defence. Liam Farrell pops the ball over the top, gets Steve Michaels interested. There's space out wide, but again, they're trying to play outside of Hull FC instead of through them.
Well, I think we can almost call this now the first Super League win for Hull since May the 7th, 33-22 at Widnes, when they came back from 22-0 down.
Okay, lads, let's get ready now.
Wigan's last win, the 23rd of April, 42 22 at home to the Catalan Dragons. It's one of their worst runs in Super League. Their worst run of results in 11 years, in fact, since 2006. A lot of effort and being done with young players. Rumababi, altered by Luluai. Here's Houghton. Matongo. Michael lifts the leg, that means the tackle is held and completed.
How many times has he stood up and played the ball, not been taken to ground in this game?
Rumababi gets the ball away nicely to Houghton. Houghton was not tackled, but now he is. And McIlorum, his opposite number, which drew some consternation from the crowd. Kelly, 1-pointer, 39-18, just to complete it.
Well, that's it, Eddie. That just rubs salt into the wound, doesn't it? The Wigan players weren't expecting Albert Kelly to drop over. 1 point. Lee Radford's men have done a tremendous job. They've coped with the power of Wigan. They've forced Wigan into playing laterally. And it's not been Wigan's day.
They've just been on a different level, Hull FC.
Do you know this is... that just stayed in the field of play. Just going to say, do you know this is only the 6th Hull win from 23 on home soil against Wigan?
Time off.
You wouldn't believe that, would you?
No, I knew that, Eddie.
Of course you did.
That's a good kick, isn't it?
Not many drop goals, by the way, in Albert Kelly's career. We've just seen the 2nd of his career, but the 1st for Hull. He got one across the other side of the city against Salford in the qualifiers last year for Hull KR. Then he decided that he still had a lot to offer Super League and this team from the other side of the city, and I just wonder if he will be, as I said earlier, the X factor, the man who will spark them to the grand final this year.
Well, he's certainly got that spark, and he can win games, can't he, on his own. He's one of those players that can do things that not many can. And the move over to the other side of Hull has certainly got a lot of energy in him.
I think today, though, players like Jamie Shaw, Jake Connor when he was on, Danny Houghton have performed at the top of their game.
And Jake Connor's back on now. He's come back on the field outside Albert Kelly here now.
And Mark Minicello, just before he left the pitch, he's had a huge influence.
Tautai to Williams, skips away from one challenge, loops the pass over the top. Good hands from Tierney, finds Burgess. Burgess. It would only be for pride. Marshall. Oh, he's pinched one. He's pinched another. Has Liam Marshall. Second try from Liam Marshall. That will delight him and Sean Wayne. It will take a little bit of the shine off the whole win for Lee Radford, I think, because this is slack defence.
See, Jake Connor can do brilliant things from switching off his attack. He has just reappeared on the field. Maybe his concentration's not where it needs to be. And this guy, I don't know if there's a player with a better instinct to score than Liam Marshall in the league at the moment.
Well, Marshall with a difficult kick again. And another one that's missed. You know, it's 6 tries to 5. That's all in Hull's favour. It's the goal kicking.
It was 4 tries each when Hull won at Wigan earlier this year. And again, Mark Sneed's kicking was the difference. He kicked a penalty. We've got another try here with Liam Marshall.
You can't switch off when you're defending your try line. That's the difference between good sides and excellent sides, is that excellent sides will defend every play. When you're at marker, your job's not done. And Liam Marshall, as you said, Phil, certainly knows how to finish. He's a quality player, and he's got a huge future in front of him.
And that's been one of the only lights and one of the only positives. While it's been a difficult period for Wigan, the emergence of some of those younger players, particularly Liam Marshall. Wigan will get some players back, and they'll have a good run as Liam Farrell collects the ball. At some point, I think we've got 7 games left, have we?
Hey,
Wigan will start to get it together.
Hull have got a few players missing, about the same number as the Wigan side.
I agree. It's been an outstanding day for the black and whites.
2.
Good with numbers, Baz. Six games to go.
After this one.
6 games
after this
and
one.
3 minutes to go.
So technically 7.
Hold.
7 for some, 6 for others, 8 for others.
Yeah.
Wide they go to Tierney. Wigan further wide to Davis. Back inside. Oh, well held.
Was well taken by Forsyth, wasn't he? He was putting an awful lot of pressure. Had to gather that ball in.
Williams again. Here is Farrell. Always danger down this side, but that up and over pass just doesn't quite come off again for Liam Farrell.
It was the second time Liam Farrell has looked to get his winger free with the ball over the top of a couple of defenders. His winger had cut in field. You can see him, he gets the ball in his right hand. Liam Marshall, he's dropped back inside, expecting a little drop-off play from his experienced back rower. Just doesn't come off for them though.
Well, 2 minutes and counting to a Hull victory.
Well, just taking the time here, Albert Kelly bringing the ball back now. Know this game's well and truly in the bag.
Out.
This is Steve Michaels, and it was his try in the second minute that set us off for this victory, but here is a knock-on. Here's a knock-on by him.
Just saw it drop out.
Wigan will end the match in the whole half of the field, in fact in the whole 10-metre zone.
Young Jack Wells involved in that, trying to slow the play of the ball, and in doing so Steve Michaels loses control of the ball. Wigan look like they'll get at least one more goal at the Hull FC try line.
Okay, let's get ready now. Tidy scrum.
1 minute and 21 seconds remaining.
Keep it tidy, heads in.
Valuable win for Hull. Will open up a gap between themselves and the champions. This is Williams to Farrell again, and Farrell goes back on the inside.
How does Danny Houghton do it, the number 9? That's his 48th tackle in this game. Not only has he been good in defence, been good in the attack as well.
Well, he's been that good that can announce as we reach the last minute of the match that Danny Houghton is the man of the match, the Betfred man of the match. Wide they come, Davis. Oh, he stretched for the line. I think he might have got this. He has. Second try for Davis. That's 6 tries apiece, isn't it? It's only the kicking then. It's only the kicking that's the difference. I wonder in defeat whether Sean Way will take anything from that. It's only the kicking, because they haven't got a recognised kicker out there.
No, he won't take anything into that at all. They know that they've been well and truly beaten in this game. Again, Wigan are forced to move the ball out wide. They do get Hull FC out wide. Tom Davis, another young player who's come through some injuries to Wigan.
Great try, great effort.
They know how to finish.
George Williams has missed with another.
Eddie,
Well,
we bumped
6
into
tries
Sean
apiece.
Sorry, we bumped into Sean Wayne at Magic Weekend when his side drew with the Warrington Wolves. And we asked him, was it a point earned or a point gained? He said, no, I just want to win. Whether we've got a full squad or a squad full of young players, I want to win. I'm a proud Wiganer. He's doing it tough, his team are doing it tough at the minute, but they'll be back. But for now, this is the Black and White's day. Outstanding performance from Lee Radford's men.
Yes, and as I say, the man who has got the Man of the Match award and the cheque from the sponsors for the charity of his choice is that man there, Danny Houghton. Wigan, the fact of the matter is, they've scored 6 tries, they've kicked only 1 goal. Hull have been A-OK with their kicking, and Kelly has kicked only his 2nd drop goal of his career. So let's just give you the tail of the tape, as they say.